Hi, I'm Shalair with Mediander.com, and welcome to Mediander CultureTalk, a series of panel discussions where we will explore, analyze, and maybe poke fun at some hot topic issues. And what better way to start than with Rachel Dolezal? And I promise you, I am not poking fun at her. This girl's out of my head. I just want to welcome my guest. This is Tom Kelly. He's in New York City. Well, actually, very professional comedian. He is very famous from his The View segments.
Yeah, I've been on The View, and then and I have health insurance now, so life is good. I'm very excited. Yeah, basic dental too.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah.
All right, and we have Keenan. He's also a comedian, and I'm sure you have dental as well because we have Obamacare.
That's why I became a comedian. I was like, oh wait, we could get insurance now. Appreciate it.
All right, and we have Clarissa, a social activist, and you have a great foundation that you started.
Great organization, yeah. It's called Urban National, and I'm looking to link communities here in New York City with communities out in Cape Town, South Africa.
Awesome. And we have Kati Fine, a playwright and creative director at Mediander, and welcome as well.
Yeah.
So say hello.
Hi.
I don't even really need a question to start. I'm sure all of you guys are chomping at the bit. So tell me why you're mad. there we go.
I don't know if I'm mad. In fact, watch out. I don't know if I'm mad anymore. I mean, this is one of those topics. Just to tell you about my background, I didn't know I was white till I was about 12 years old. I was raised I'm second generation Irish, second generation Italian. My mom is Sicilian, so she thought she was black growing up. And there's a whole big story about that. Like, my mom was in the Black Student Union in college, and during the riots around Martin Luther King time, her black friends were like, you can't go riot, you're white, you have to go home now. But my story was this. It's funny about race, and when you get into all these things, like, people look at me and say, Tom, you're white. And the labels I put on myself are I'm Irish and Italian. My kids will be white, because all the ethnic people will be dead by the time I have kids. But so when you get into this age, and I've been if Rachel Dolezal wants to tell people she's black, and if she in her heart she believes she's black, God bless. I mean, she must have been really good at the NAACP to beat out all those black people for jobs, ladies and gentlemen.
That's such a liberal and nice perspective. But, we're talking about being mad. I think Rachel herself, especially for the comedian, she's like the gift that keeps giving. But it's not, if you take away from Rachel the person, it's really something else underneath there. It's really what I think is some resentment towards black women. The response towards it has been this, oh yes, because we can have so much support for Rachel and her choices, but people like Serena come out and get called every single type of name, and nobody supports this. Nobody supports it. And then if I come out and say anything about this, and I'm an angry black woman, and it's...
Question for you.
Sure.
Is the resentment you're saying from Rachel?
No, I'm not saying it's from Rachel. Actually, Rachel, I think, is onto something really good in the sense that we can have these conversations. But all of a sudden, Rachel comes out, and now race is complicated. Now it's just something that we all have to figure out and get underneath. And because Rachel, we've been trying to do this for
Yeah,
ever.
I can see where the resentment comes from and how she's saying about a white person coming out identifying as black and how you get respect for it somehow and support for it, but all the plights that most black women go through throughout their lives, they don't get to have the same respect or profitability of it.
Well, I have a question for you because a lot of times she is not the first white person to act black. And a lot of times if we get someone that's like, yo, I love rap, or someone like Eminem, we totally accept that. But because because she kept her, her dialect and all of that, as proper English, or she's not out like, wearing baggy clothes? Is that why we are mad at her?
No, I think we're mad at both instances, and it's just like that. You see the same problems with the Iggy Azaleas, the Vanilla Ices. We always have this dialogue when someone is coming out trying to act black. This one went a little bit beyond acting black and was like, all right, I'm gonna go orange.
I don't think it has to do with acting black. I think it has to do with passing, and I think that if she'd been honest and said, I identify with this culture, I care about these things, I love African art, I relate strongly to Black culture, I have 4 Black siblings, any number of things that are true and that are from her past and her experience. If she had been completely upfront about the complexities in herself, the fact that she said to her brother Ezra, "Don't blow my cover," the fact that she called a Black man her father and lied, the fact that she did things that were disingenuous and strange and complex, make you not trust the other things that could be wonderful movements towards a better understanding of fascination with race on all sides and wanting to be a part of something that you identify with.
I think we all have the right to be who we are, or who we say we are. We absolutely have the right. But Homegirl took it to different levels. Homegirl took it to telling other black people,
See, you're right. She overcame. She has overcome.
Finding Black people in
Rachel wins.
She's telling Black people you're not Black enough to be here. Telling fair-skinned women that they have no role in certain conversations, and telling white activists such as Tim Wise, you shouldn't be part of the conversation. So it's almost like the kahunga is on you.
And also just one quick thing about the hair. When I don't know if any of you's beautiful hair.
I'm jealous myself.
If you saw the video of her giving the lecture in an academic environment to presumably mostly Black students, saying we and our regarding her kinky hair, which she had made from blonde straight hair to kinky hair, referring to it as if she had then allowed herself as a Black woman to go kinky, to embrace her culture. I mean, the strangeness of that.
But you know what I find interesting about that is a lot of the comments from Black women have been, "Oh, can she give us some hair advice?" Or I want to know what products she used. So then that she's actually, teaching this, why are we mad? If you're now saying, I want her to tell me these things.
Because if you keep the focus on Rachel, then I would say we're not mad. No one's, especially Black women, not that I speak for all of them, but I will right now. I haven't heard anybody ask for her to be lynched. I haven't heard anyone ask her for.
But they asked for her to be fired.
Okay, you're right. That has happened. Okay.
As a privileged white guy, my question is.
Wait, I thought you were Sicilian.
Well, no, exactly. No, but I was never been pulled over for being Black as a guy, who. What's the right way to say this? It's a dumb question. No, the guy doesn't pass. But the question is, when do you decide if you're Black? I have friends who are Jamaican who say they're Jamaican, and we're in a world where Bruce Jenner can decide he's a woman, and we're all applauding him. The man's got to have things snipped. I mean, all she had to do is spray some paint on. And I've been called transphobic and racist in 2 different conversations for that thought. But if I'm supposed to embrace Bruce Jenner, why am I racist for embracing Rachel Dolezal?
Totally different.
Tell us how that's different.
I'd love to address that, but you're about to.
I think just the identifying as Black is an issue because the definition of Black is so vague. It's a diverse group in America that I only think, like you were saying, your Jamaican friends, whatever. Yeah. The only thing I think that really does truly link us is lineage and then the effects of slavery. And if you come from that, you are Black in America.
So now if you if you came over from Africa 3 weeks ago on your own, are you no longer Black?
That's what society puts you, but you are African. That's what you are.
I mean, or if you grew up in Kansas, it's fun.
If you grew up in Kansas, you are American.
Yeah. So is Obama technically an American who moved to Chicago?
We're blurring ethnicity, nationality, and race.
But see, that doesn't get asked when the hashtag Black Lives Matter start trending.
But that's because you only have 140 characters.
I'm not saying that she's a villain. Look, I have huge sympathy for Rachel. I think she's very confused.
Everyone has sympathy for Rachel.
I have sympathy for her as well because,
why is she just not batshit crazy? Why is she?
I think she has serious. I think she has serious mental issues. But I'll tell you what things that I get mad at in life are people who hurt other people.
I agree.
If you're hurting people, I am upset. If you're doing some criminal behavior, I am upset.
I think she's
I feel like she only hurt herself. This whole instance
I
How
think
did this
there's more.
affect you before you knew about it last week? How did she hurt you before last week? She was helping
Personally,
the
I don't
community.
feel that I'm hurt personally, but there are outreaches to this story that can hurt, specifically just in her area. You talked about Bruce Jenner's kids. What about Rachel Dolezal's kids? See, no one's talking about how that could be hurting, right?
Her students who trusted her and thought that she was relating an experience that was true, and she says, my hair, our hair, right? Now there's an implicit lie in there. Those students are looking at her saying, she knows what it's like to grow up in this way.
But she doesn't.
She didn't.
But I guess my question for you guys, is there any similarities between being transgendered and trans?
I think that's a bad similarity, though I think it raises good points, because I even had to ask myself, and it comes down to, I am a woman, I feel black. Two different things. The blackness is because of the experiences. The woman is some biological, I can't even define it, it's just who I am. But the blackness is experiences, the thing that relates us, and why we say, when we talk about blackness, especially in America, because I do not talk this same way, we're not saying the same things in South Africa, which has a different historical trajectory. But here in America, it's the experience. And she is quite narcissistic about this, okay? And when it comes to Caitlyn, again, it's something biological. There's something biological, and she's not feeling it. That's not Rachel's situation.
And my thing on Rachel is, could Rachel be so filled with, and you guys used the word before, white guilt, that she, to deal with it.
White guilt doesn't help. White guilt is problematic. White guilt is privilege.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? And it is not helping me, which is why, Shalay, it hurts me as a black woman. I mean, she herself, actually, like, if this was 4 weeks ago, Rachel would be agreeing with me. She'd be right here like, go ahead, girl. Right? She would totally be agreeing with everything I'm saying right now.
Because of the experience, she would agree
but she does not have the experience. She cannot, as she has lived her life as a white woman in America, there's no way she has had the
And she
experience.
only went to Howard at graduate
no
school.
way.
So that's
She
not
was alma mater, so
graduate school.
She
Graduate
could have
school is
chosen
not.
anything. She chose a race that everyone sort of runs from.
Yeah.
The fact that she chose to, because she,
I should feel flattered.
but I'm just saying that from my experience, from my background, I'm like, thank you, because I feel like that's a soldier we have for us.
Yeah, I'd much rather be Asian if I could pick. I'd be better at math. I'd be gay Asian. I'd be better at fashion, better at math, and I'd open my own clothing line.
I think that what's weird for me is that there's so much complexity in what she's done that she herself won't even acknowledge. Like, she says these things, like, for example, she says, I have a black son. How can I be a white mother?
Right.
Now, I adopted my daughter. She's Latina. I can be white and have a Latina daughter. If I don't acknowledge that I'm white and she's Latina, how can I relate to her experience if I don't acknowledge my experience? I was raised as a Jew on the Upper West Side of
That's a
Manhattan.
twisted.
It is a
I
twisted
think
logic.
that she traded those kids with Michael Jackson's kids.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about that.
You bring up another buzzword or a name, Michael Jackson kids. Those kids, obviously, Michael Jackson was a black man, and then he turned into an Asian woman, white woman.
See, I told you, everybody wants to.
But okay, his kids are clearly, I assume, they're white. They're around all black people being raised by a black family. How do they identify themselves?
Well, remember there has been a man that has come out and said that he actually was the sperm donor for that. And
So I say they're
agree.
culturally black and they're genetically white.
Yes.
But what if they never meet that
They're not
guy?
culturally
It
black.
doesn't
either.
matter.
And
They're culturally
They live on Neverland Ranch. Like
celebrity.
that's,
they have a camel.
They're culturally
it's
celebrity.
not.
Culturally celebrity black and genetically
No,
white.
and this is where you get into, and this is why I can't wait till our grandkids watch this tape and think
Right.
we're all idiots.
Yeah.
We're going to one day have to start looking at people as being people. Like, where do I have to apply for
Right.
my black license? Or me as a kid, where do I,
But let's
have I
not-
come away from
Like
me
we were
using my
saying.
experiences?
When you
am
have
I
to change
Irish
the
enough?
whole judicial system, you're going to have to change the prison prison system. We're going to have to change all these systems that have been around for hundreds of years in
Yeah.
America before those
And
things
listen,
can
and
happen.
I get all of that, but what I think we're missing with this woman is this is a white woman who joined an organization to help black people. This is a white woman who joined the NAACP.
So was she
It's-
charitable
well, it's-
by disappearing her white self?
Well, you want to, but it's not like we had a black guy who joined a Klan here. It's a
Right.
different.
I thought
she was
situation.
hurting
She's making the world
Yes.
better in her own way.
As we said before,
Yeah.
she did good
Yeah.
works. And she lied and is
Yeah.
confused and troubled.
Yeah.
Can we have them both exist in the same pot?
Exactly.
Even like you said when you started, how your family from Italian kind of identified with. Like we get the similarities.
Yeah.
Italian moms love to cook. Black moms love to cook.
Right.
Y'all are from the south side of Europe.
Yeah.
We get it.
Yeah.
But you still.
No, and I get it. I have not. I mean, I have not been pulled over for being black. There's a lot of experience. Like I don't get my black license. I get that. I am not transracial.
Not yet, but
Not
there's still
yet.
time.
I mean, I'm half Sicilian, so I'm blacker than Halle Berry. But in general, I thought that was great. You gave me nothing. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a scare. I think the hard part is we're so focused on her lying, we're missing this bigger thing of. I think this is. This sounds so stupid and so full of rainbows.
Is it
and
because
unicorns.
there's so few people that actually help the cause that now?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now
So that's
you
the
bring me to something else I want to bring up. Right now, you have the whole Dominican Republic issue with Haiti. I sit there and I read that story and I'm heartbroken. I'm like, Rachel Dolezal could be working on this stuff, but we're sitting around worrying about what she looks like. That she could be helping
Washington
that
State
cause.
is so far from the Dominican
But,
Republic.
but you never know what people like her and what you never know who you're deterring from beating
Right,
down
from
and,
doing-
and basically race shaming.
No, you're right.
someone.
I don't think she should have lost her job. I think the resignation was bad, especially because you have a black woman now adding to unemployment and a white woman adding to unemployment. You can only blame that on Obama.
Well, I mean, let her sort herself out. Let her come to terms with what she's done and how it's generated an enormous reaction that is real, that is coming from many, many different sentiments. And let her figure out how to be an integrated person. And then let her get a job, maybe at the NAACP again, maybe elsewhere, or
Can't
doing
start
other
back at the
things.
top.
Can't go
Yeah.
back.
You got to do like a Korean
Whatever.
hairstyle.
Where do we go from here? Where do you see it going?
I think this woman is going to get vilified. She is going to have her career ruined. And I don't think we're having a conversation we could be having here. I think we came close to it here, thanks to you, Shalera. But in general, I think this is a missed opportunity for America. Like you talk about Black Lives Matter. If we all don't start working together on stuff, nothing's ever going to get done. And you just see that in the last couple of years with the Black Lives Matter campaign. You have old white guys watching on Fox News, why are you burning down a city? And nobody understanding why people are angry. And I think this is I think Rachel Dolezal is a bridge that we burned. And I think it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think a little bit differently. I think she'll be able to profit from this handsomely. There's got to be book deals on the way, reality shows. And I mean, I really wouldn't take away from what she's helped to the community. I agree with that. But in Washington State, she only helped like 6 black people. So
Including herself and her husband.
Well, the reality show could be, so you think you married a black woman?
I love it. Get in. Get
Start
copywritten.
I think Rachel might fade away herself because other things are coming out which shows there's other things that are a little bit wackyish about her. I do think the conversation has started, and I do think the conversation shows how far we have not come in race relations, and that has been problematic for me.
I think that an amazing conversation has been started. I don't feel like any bridges have been burned. I feel like this last week and a half has been mind-blowing for me personally, and I think a lot of people, just like with the Caitlyn Jenner thing, not that they're the same, but a lot of people's minds have been opened. They've been asking themselves and their friends a lot more questions about this issue. I've seen threads upon threads on Facebook. I've participated in them, and I feel like actually what I wish for her is that she goes into therapy and figures out what was the wound that caused her to want to disappear herself in order to help a community, rather than step forward for who she is and sort of honor herself, her real parents, her adopted brothers, and the community that she feels an alliance with.
All right. Well, I feel like you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for doing
You
this.
know, as the great D.L. Hughley once said, we're all black until the police show up. All right, this has been Mediander Culture Talk. Check out these guys. They have been awesome. Their links will be below the video, and I thank you all for watching. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. That was awesome.
Thank you.